They were watching it.
Yo, 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 good people. Come on into the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, we're coming live from South Africa. I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am your homie HerbMan. All right, all we do here on the HerbMan Show is simply teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach people here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. That's what we do here. This is the free information station, you guys. All the information that you hear on this station is free. You don't have to pay for anything. All you got to do to pay for this information is simply pay attention. And how you do that is by double tapping your screens and getting this out to as many people as possible by getting us up to at least 100,000 likes during the live. And once we get to 1,000 likes, we will get into the subject matter at hand. The biggest thing that I want you guys to understand is the cyclical understanding of nature, the cyclical understanding of nature. We really want to delve into you understanding the cyclical understanding of nature. What does it mean to go in cycles? What does it mean for things to be cyclical? What does it mean for things to go in turns? What does it mean for things to come around when they come around? And as things go around, things come around. And, you know, what does it mean for the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs? And what does it mean when we're talking about the ebbs and the flows of life, when we're talking about the highs and the lows of life, when we're talking about the ins and the outs of life, when we're talking about the coming and the going of life? What does that mean? And if you can read the title of this video today, you guys, we're coming live on TikTok and YouTube. You can go to the YouTube and subscribe. You can go to the TikTok and subscribe. We're just trying to make sure that TikTok don't think that they got the directorship over this message, that you can just come and mess up our lives and thinking that people won't get this information. And we got to let YouTube understand and know that we ain't just going to utilize you as a vehicle for this information as well, but we'll be able to have a competitive branding for you guys to understand that we will use by any means necessary any platform to get the message out that healing has come in the form of traditional medicine. If you are tired of modern medicine, if you have been getting the runaround, the ups and downs, if you understand that medication, look, it's not a big thing no more for folk to know that medication don't work. Folk that 50 years old, folks that 5 years old, folks that 70 years old are finally starting to realize that medications ain't doing nothing but getting them a headache. Folks know that medications ain't working like they're supposed to no more, but there is not an alternative to the system that has been in place for hundreds of years now. So what we have to do then is, if you're going to create system, if you're going to initiate, if you're going to appropriate, if you're going to bring something up to our attention, then it must be in detailed format so that when you rob the baby of the pacifier, you will at least give them something in substance in return. So therefore, the additional traditional system, or the alternative to the modern medicine, has to be just as intricate, just as specific, as not more specific, than the modern medical facility system is today, in order for it to rival and to be of substance for the people that we're trying to get it for it to be. Grandmama tired of taking that blood pressure medication. If you still taking blood pressure medication and you ain't got no obstruction of the heart, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you still taking insulin and metformin and you got type 2 diabetes and ain't really nothing wrong with your pancreas, you ain't got a half a pancreas or no pancreas, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because those diets are nothing more than the topic that we're talking about today. Okay? It's nothing more than the topic that we're talking about today. Your health being in your hands, the owner's manual, all the stuff that we've been teaching you. I ain't even going to tell y'all about the owner's manual today. If you want it, then you can get it. You know where to get it from. That's me. For your funky measly $50, that's what we provide. But we don't give you no product. We give you a program. And the program is in your hands. You become your own health advocate, and it's up to you to follow that program to heal yourself. And so you can stop blaming herbalists like myself and herbalists like Dr. Saban, herbalists like Yaki. You can stop blaming us. It's you that don't want to follow a program, but there is no panacea product. But I guarantee you that nature-based intervention is a panacea program. And that's what we're offering in your owner's manual. Now, to get it back on topic, what we're trying to get you to understand is that there is a resistance to change. Somebody put resistance to change in the chat, please. There is a resistance to change. In understanding the value of transition, the value of transformation, the value of change. And when you get into a particular rut, sometimes you have this resistance to change. Your old lady getting on your nerve, you go out and you go smoke a new poke and you go get your Colt 45 every single day to buffer her getting on your nerves. And you do nothing to change the situation. You don't talk to her better. Y'all don't go to counseling. Y'all don't go to the pastor. You don't do nothing to make it better. You just got this hagging old lady. To compensate for it is go out on the back patio, smoke you a new pote or two, with you a couple of Colt 45s or two. Now what happens is that okay, now she's still gonna cook for your no good ass while you still gonna work for her nagging ass, right? So you got this pot cesspool of negative ingredients that's making bad food in a bad environment with bad energy, that's going to have something bad happen in the end because there is no change mechanism happening. And that's just the one example. But there are several different types of examples that we can give you to where you'll see that you're keeping yourself stuck in this particular response, that your resistance to changing your response to that particular stimuli. So if this makes you mad, you go to this to eat. This makes you mad, you go to this to smoke. If this makes you mad, you go to this to drink. If this makes you mad, you go to this club to cheat. If this makes you mad, you go to this club to spend your money. If this makes you mad, you go to this dude to cheat. If this makes you mad, you go. So your response is resistant to changing in response to the stimuli that has been coming in your life. So if you are getting stimuli of resistance in school or in your work or in your relationship, it's how you respond. It's what they call conflict resolution. But since you guys don't know nothing about conflict resolution, then you don't understand that it is because of your response to stimuli in your environment that is causing you to cope in a way that's actually derailing you in your health journey. So now when we teach you about these two dynamics here on this board, you can't, or you fail to realize how to synergize this because you've always been one-sided. You already responded one way to stimuli, responded one way to conflict. You either gonna fight or you gonna flight. You ain't never really understood the resting mechanism in the face of stimulus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You never really understood the resting, the value of resting in the face of stimuli. Either you gonna fight it or you gonna fight or flight it. Either way, you are high strong in your response. You high strong in your fighting or you high strong in your fleeing away. But at the end of the day, you've never conceptualized resting in the face of a storm, resting in the face of stimuli, resting in the face of aggregation or irritation, resting in the face of stimulation. You never valued or never understood that to be an option. I either got to fight it, meet it head on, or I either got to get the hell on, but I got to do something about it other than rest in the face of danger. So when Martin Luther King come into the perception of love in the face of hate and non-violent in the face of violence, you don't understood that because you didn't understood the feminine energy quality in you. You don't understand the other side of you. You don't understand this particular healing part of you. You don't understand this resting and relaxing and this non-violent and cohesive way in you. You don't understand this response. You don't understand this response. And what we're trying to teach you is that life is a complete system of temporary situations. Somebody gonna get mad at me when I said that. But life is a complete system, a complete rotary, a complete system, a cyclical system, a cycles. That means that if you go in cycles, that means that you can't keep spring all your life. It's going to turn summer. And even though you love summer the way that you love summer, you can't keep it all of your life. It's going to turn to fall. And all the color, and although you love the leaves on the ground, and although you love the foliage in the area and the changing of the guard, but you still can't keep it forever. Fall going to turn into winter. And for some of you guys that love to go into the mountains and love to go into the snow and love to go skiing and love to do all of your mountainous, adventurous things in the winter, you can't keep it all of your life. See, the real nature will tell you that spring must come. But this ain't what you're learning in your everyday thing. You're trying to keep him. You're trying to keep her. You're trying to keep it. You're trying to do it forever. You're trying to get some permanency in learning and knowing that you are the one and this is it and this is the job and you are the person and this is the words and this is the place and it's all trying to be a permanent situation you trying to gain, but you don't, because you're going against the nature of cyclical understanding that, look here, the only thing permanent is a complete system of temporary situations. A complete system of temporary situations. Now, that means a good thing to me in regards of what I know as a human being, but it also means some detrimental things to me as far as what I know as a human being, because now I understand that what I love will change. I'm all right with what I hate will change. I'm all right with what I don't like will change, but it's when I get something that I do like, I got to change that too. Yes. God damn it. Let me go on and break your motherfucking heart real quick while you're on this show. Yes. And then we're going to go ahead and break it real quick. Yes, sir. And what is happening is that you guys are choosing permanent situations in a temporary climate. You're choosing permanent ideologies in a cyclical climate. You're choosing permanent diets in a weather pattern that changes seasonally. Should automatically be innately indubitably up under the rudimentary level of elementary school level to let you know that your diet should change with the season. But instead, you trying to keep a vegan diet when you got 4 different temperate climates. That means you must change your vegan diet 4 different times. If you have a soul food diet, or if you got a diet or that diet, you're still, if your diet don't change with the weather pattern, you got the wrong diet. Because we're understanding that it is temporary things, seasonal foods, seasonal friends, seasonal relationships, seasonal occupations, seasonal entrepreneurial ideologies, seasonal things that I will go into as I yet grow and as I yet learn through the Sun Belt, through the yellow brick road, through as I sojourn through this particular valley of lessons. They're going to be, everything is in temporal format, but this is a complete system. So that means that when I get some highs, I'm guaranteed to get some lows. And when I get some lows, I'm guaranteed to get some highs. That means that when I get sick, I'm guaranteed to get some healing. And when I get healed, I'm guaranteed to get some sickness. But I must understand that everything that I'm buying for, everything that I'm wanting, all the questions that I'm asking myself, can healing, can you really heal your kidneys? Can you really heal your heart? Can you really heal your lung? Can you really heal from cancer? Can you really heal from AIDS? Can you really heal from herpes? Can you really heal from syphilis? Can you really heal from diabetes and gonorrhea? Can you really heal from cognitive, this, that, and the third? Can you really heal from, yes. And the reason why, because nature is cyclical. There are seasons for everything. Your shit is there too. Your stuff you looking for is a season away. It's a change away. This is a complete system of temporary situations. Even if you got married and you've been married 70 years, it's still going to go down as temporary when it comes down to the volume of your life. Look here, what I mean by the volume of life, I want y'all to look at something here. Let's say you are alive here and you are unalive here, right? Your little 100 years you've been alive ain't got nothing on death in your particular paradigm, right? So you're going to be dead way more longer than you're going to be alive, theoretically. So my point to you is this. If this is right now our reality, that we're going to be dead way longer than we're going to be alive. If this is our reality right now, if you start to look at the change scenario that I'm gathering and the temporary scenario, if I got married to somebody and lived with her since I was 18 in a 100-year life, I still died longer without her. Which means that in this particular paradigm, this is more temporal than this. Life, being alive, is more temporal than death. Death is a more permanent state than being alive. And the reason why I'm teaching you guys this today is because I want you guys to understand the cyclical value of nature, to value both the light and the dark, the up and the down, the in and the out. Understanding that, yes, there's going to be times where singleness is going to be a season for you. But then you're going to meet your boo. There's going to be a time of brokenness, can be a season for you. And then you're going to meet your money opportunity. There's going to be a time where sickness going to be a season for you. But then you're going to meet your healing. There's going to always be in nature some cyclical understanding. So why ask the question, can I be healed? Can you get sick? Somebody answer that question for me real quick in the chat. Can you get sick? Yes or no? Can you get sick? Yes or no? Can I get sick? Yes or no? Can I get sick? Yes or no? Can anybody on the planet get sick? Yes or no? Now look at what we're seeing right here. A bunch of yeses. Resistance to change. Yes, M love. Yes, yes, M love. Yes. So guess what? That same answer you gave for can you get sick is the same answer for can you get well. The same answer for can you get sick is the same answer for can you get well. If yes, you can get sick, yes, you can get well. But we got to get you to embrace change, not force change. I don't want you guys to go back into your relationship and look at your old man, look at your old lady, look at your children, look at your work environment, look at your neighborhood and be like, oh, I just got to get up and go. Everybody, it ain't all about getting up and going somewhere, okay? The only reason I felt like I had to get up and go somewhere is because I know I had other things I had to do in other places. But at the end of the day, my point to you is that everybody ain't got an opportunity to have to get up and go. So then it's about what can you do where you at with what you got going on. Okay. And so now we just got to get to the rudimentary, fundamentary level that the least of us can deal with. May and Ray them can't go no goddamn well. Mang them ain't got nowhere to goddamn go. They don't even know nothing about what you're talking about. But they still need healing. They still need to be saved. They still need to be able to live a long life. They still need this rhema word too. They still need to eat from the table too. This is still food for Ray May them, and Shay and Shoo them, and Boo Boo and Bang Bang them. You can't make everything for the elite pimp thinking that you was sent from somewhere. This got to be for Bay them and May them. Folks that ain't even tuning in to your show. Did you cook them? Did you make them too? Did you go in the closet and pray for them too? Folks that ain't gonna believe the way you live, ain't gonna think the way you do, ain't gonna like the way you look, ain't gonna feel the way you feel, ain't gonna agree with what you talking about, ain't gonna be where you trying to be, ain't got the money that you got, ain't got the swag that you got, may not understand what you doing. Can you do it for them too? Can you say that you came up with something for them too? Or is it just about the women who are into women? I'm just about the feminine movement. So I just really want to deal with women right now. I'm saying I done met all of y'all. So I know what you start talking about. And I look into you and say, well, what can you do for folk who don't think like you? What can a woman do for men? What can a man do for women? What can a child do for grown-ups? What can a grown-up do for children? Huh? The opposites. Change. Being resistant to that change allows you to understand that you don't know which wave of life you're in and you're not riding the wave of life correctly. Now, again, you got some highs, you got some lows, you got some ins, you got some outs. You got some ebbs, you got some flows. But at the end of the day, riding these waves and understand that I can't be too resistant to change, seeing that this is change. This one little fucking symbol right here, which is the sun ecliptic. It is the yin and the yang. It's the Xfinity symbol. It's the Ankh. It's the cross right here. If y'all can't see that cross, it's the oldest ancient recording system on the planet. I don't even know the name of it. We call it the owner's manual. That's what we call it. We call it the owner's manual. Okay, for 2025, baby. This old ass machine that's been here since the beginning of time that your old ancestors used to use. We done digged it up and found it in the grave, and we done rehashed it. Some bit still works, still in pristine condition, and it'll still do for you what it done for them. And what we call it is the owner's manual. But it's about understanding how to ride the wave of life that you're in, the frequency of life that you're in, the energy of life that you're in. Do anybody know what energy of life they in? Do anybody know what wave of life they in? Do anybody know what frequency of life you in? So when you're talking about healing and you're talking about going to the TCM and you're talking about going to the traditional African medicine people and the Ayurvedic people, it's about frequency. They all of them teach you about chi. They teach you about your kapha, your pitta, your vata. They're gonna teach you about this energy that's within the kundalini, is what they call it in some people's language, right? The ka, the ba. It's this energy, but what we're calling it is this wave. To make it simple, because you know what, I got May them. I got to teach May them just like I can teach you, Dr. Robert Williams. I got to teach you Dr. Robert Williams, that's fine, but I got to teach Ray, both of y'all in the same class. So we got to make sure that Ray understand that it ain't a whole bunch he got to do to get well. Just like Robert Williams understand, it ain't a whole bunch he got to do to get well. See, Ray got to know it's free, but Dr. Robert Williams, with all that money, you need to know that your healing is free too. Y'all keep tapping, I'll keep talking, man. Get me up to 100,000 likes, man. Peace. Y'all good right here, babies? Yeah. Y'all good right here? Huh? Oh, yeah, I ain't finished yet. What you tell me that to? No. Huh? No, I'm still on the line, man. I'm still doing the show. I ain't finished yet. I ain't finished. Like you could just put on the stuff by the volume. No, whoops. I still doing the line. Keep him. I ain't finished yet. Wooster done saw me throw that pen down, and they said, shit, daddy, go get up out that motherfucker. You done told them what they need to know. Hey, Wooster done said, yeah, that was it right there, Pop. If they don't get it from there, they won't ever get it. Okay? If they don't get it from there, they'll never get it. So you got to understand, you guys, look, this is not a beat you down and beat you upside the head. This is for you to understand that this, what we're introducing, is not a TikTok thing, is not a YouTube thing, is not a Facebook thing, is not an Instagram thing, is not a social media thing, is not an entrepreneur thing, is not a business thing, is not an ideal that you would. This is a changing of the world, changing of the guard thing. And my boys get to watch this happening in front of their face. This ain't a goddamn go and make some little business idea. Go and do you. If that's what you want to go chase the bag, go and chase the bag. You won't live no longer than nobody else. You can eat all the watermelon you want to eat on social media, pimp. You won't live no longer than nobody else. For real, for real. You can show people all the vegetables and the okra and all of the raw vegetables and salad and all that bullshit that y'all niggas doing on this motherfucker, and it won't make you live no longer really, realistically, than nobody else. You ain't never seen no vegan got everlasting life. You ain't never seen no Christian with it either. You ain't never seen no Muslim with everlasting life. You never seen no Jew with everlasting life. You never seen no atheist with everlasting life. You never seen these opinions and these decisions that you making ain't really propagating you to 120 or to the everlasting life. So for me, all of it got fallibility in it, which means that it's still more studying and more understanding to do, and what we need to do in order to get to that knowledge. At least even before you get here, you need the knowledge of how to get here. I'm not the one to live forever, everlasting. You know why? Because I got this too late in life. I already got poison. I got a time limit because I came into time. But I know my job is, before my time up, is to wake folk up that we out of time, not in. I know my job is before I go back out of the paradigm is to complete my task this time, which for us to understand that unequivocally we're able to obtain sources that will go beyond the time paradigm, which means that we're able to obtain everlasting life. But God told me, nature told me, or whoever you say told you something, told me that body preservation is the key. Well, damn, I ain't body preserved in the first 35 years of my life, but I drank and smoked and fucked and worked, just like you. I might can't get there with you, but I know the message in this 2025 is that we finally have information that allows us to understand how to get there. But this wasn't in the books. This lesson wasn't in some kind of storehouse or warehouse or something you can go artifact and archaeologically dig it up. In order for us to understand this, somebody had to be looking at nature, talking to nature, being sensitive to nature. Hey, y'all calm down back there. Something had to be sensitive, somebody, in order to hear what nature was trying to say. That you don't have to leave here from AIDS or from herpes. That you don't have to accept autoimmune diseases and cancer as a death sentence. But you can't get that in humanity, because we're going to say, shit, there ain't nothing we can do about it. But in nature, it brings a different conclusion to the matter, a different option, a different awareness. And when I got into nature, I started to hear those whispers of different options. I'm like, I thought it was all options I got. But just ask me what you want. Just say it out loud. Okay. All right, look, I want to do this. Next thing you know, I would say it out loud and forget about it, and a month later, it would have been unhappened. And the only way that would be reminded of is the fact that the shit happened. It's like, hold on, now this is deja vu. Some way I already would, yeah, because you asked for it out loud a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. So I was using air and manipulating air and didn't know it. But as a Gemini, as an air sign, I started to realize that I can manipulate air. Then I started to go through trials and tribulations here in Virgo. I'm a Gemini. I'm 46 years old. Let me show y'all something real quick. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. I'm going to give you a rundown of my life on this wheel real quick. This is what you get for your funky measly $50. Anybody that's interested in getting the owner's manual, please DM me. We'll get you the information. I'm a Gemini. I was born there, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 6 years old. So I'm currently here in Libra, 46 years old. In 2003, not 2003, I'm sorry, in 2013, I had an autoimmune issue. Didn't know it, so I'm not going to necessarily say it was an autoimmune issue. I started shitting out blood. Not to be, viewers discretion is advised. Okay? But that's what happened to me in 2013. And let me show you how old I was in 2013. But also, I want to show you some more stuff about 2013. So in 2013 to here, it would be 12 years ago, right? You guys give me 1 second. I got another creepy crawler trying to come in. What's up, man? I'm trying to see how you get in there like that. All right. Excuse the interruption. Got everybody coming in now. But 2013 was 12 years ago. Okay. So 12 years ago for a 46-year-old guy, would mean that was meaning that you was around what age? Okay, let's keep it popping. 12 years ago, I'm 46. So if you go 12 years ago, how old were you? 46 years old. You go 12 years ago, how old were you? All right, y'all follow Daniel very quick. 34 years old. Now watch this, Daniel. Watch this, Daniel, and watch everybody what I'm trying to tell you about how beneficial this owner's manual is. 34 is what Daniel said. I was 34 years old. I don't really show you guys, but I can get really down to the year on this thing as far as what we're trying to do. But anyway, 10, 20, 30, and 4. So 34 years would have put me in Virgo. 34 years would have put me in Virgo. I had an autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis, which basically dealt with my intestines, my stomach. Virgo, 34 years, meaning that, so the first 3 years, so if I was 33, I would have been in the first deacon. From 34 to 37, I would have been in the second deacon. From 38 to 40, I would have been in the third deacon. So because I was 34, I was in the middle deacon of Virgo. The middle deacon of Virgo is stomach. Off the rip. The middle deacon of Virgo is stomach. Something happened in my stomach while I was in Virgo. At 34 years, when Virgo represented the stomach, I got a stomach situation, but I didn't know this. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. Why am I having these problems? I don't know. Okay? Let me give you another example. Here is in Libra. I'm 6 years into Libra. Libra is about partnerships and relationships, okay? That's the phase of life, the lesson of life that it's about, partnerships and relationships. How about in the last 6 years, I've gotten a divorce and married? But y'all don't really want to know about the science of this shit, man. Hey, y'all don't really want to know about the science of this wheel, dog. It explains what you got going on in life, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. So if you're a Christian and you don't believe in it, you can't escape this wheel. I got your ass. If you're a Muslim and you don't believe in it, it doesn't matter. You can't escape this wheel. I got your ass. Just give me your birthday. I got you in the wheel. If you're a Jew, if you're a Hindu, if you're a Buddhist, if you're whoever, and you don't want to believe in this, it does not matter. It doesn't require your belief. Your ass is still in this diagram, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. If you smart, if you dumb, if you black, if you white, if you crippled, if you full able, whatever your systematically functionality is in this particular paradigm, it don't matter. Donald Trump is in here. Elon Musk is in here and can't get out of it. Bill Gates is in this motherfucker rat race right here and can't get out of this wheel. You can name whoever, and I don't give a damn what you call that some bitch on the planet. They can't get out of this wheel just like me and you. And that's why it's so powerful. And we're using it to heal the people and to bring them back into nature. Nature's frequency is 7.8 hertz. From here on out, anytime you hear somebody tell you to get in tune with nature, if they can't tell you 7.8 hertz, and trust me, I know there's a lot of people that coming over here to my live and sneaking information and learning for themselves, and that's fine. You can rob me all you want, because remember that I'm making this meal for all of us, even for the stealers, the thieves, the murderers, the rapists, the whoever you are, you're invited to dinner. This food is for you. You need to know. Nature has never forgotten you. It knows you. It understands that you're here. And you'll understand that incompleteness versus the alternative, completeness and temporary. Completeness and temporary. Which one will you embrace? Completeness or temporary, which one will you embrace? And what does that look like in your life? Completeness and temporary, which one will you choose and what that looks like in your life? Understanding that this particular paradigm is a complete scenario of life, but it's showing you temporary seasonal lessons. That means the people are going to be seasonal. That means the opportunities are going to be seasonal. That means the material possessions are going to be seasonal. But the only thing that you need to learn in a complete temporal environment is how to be what? Preserve. You got to learn how to preserve. If this is a complete temporal environment, if you're telling me that this is a complete unit of temporal conditions, that every year I'm gonna see spring, but I ain't gonna see spring all year long. Every year I'm gonna see summer, but I ain't gonna see summer all year long. Every winter I'm gonna see winter, but I ain't gonna see winter all year long. Every year I'm gonna see fall, but I ain't gonna see fall all year long. That got to start to reverberate a lesson within you to understand what to take in from the mother freaking lesson of every year I'm gonna give you these particular options and these conditions, but you can't hold on to nothing permanent. But there is a permanency in the completeness of the differentiation, meaning that, look, there's a permanency in the highs and the lows. You can be rest assured to know that you're going to have some ups and some downs. You can be rest assured to know you're going to have some good and some bad. You can be rest assured to know it's going to be some sick days, but there is some healing. You can be rest assured to know. And you got to be able to be content with the completeness of the temporal system. Instead, you're trying to find permanency in a temporal system, which means that you're not content with the motherfucking system. That means that you're always fighting against God because you're always fighting against nature. Your nature and the nature within you is saying go with God. And so you are children of Adam and Eve who are the rebellious because you still have never ever been content with the complete cycle of temporal things. You're always trying to hold on to something for permanency, which means that's causing your suffering. Your wants, needs, and desires is for you to be rich forever, have all the food forever, have all the clothes forever, have all the this forever. See, that's what your ass is dreaming about, is a forever permanent state of being able to be in heaven forever and this, that, and the third. But the thing about it is you got to understand that the cycle, if you really understood heaven and understood the completeness of heaven, then you'll realize that there is, look, incompleteness. Let me show you something. Incompleteness is contentment. Incompleteness is peace. There ain't no want, needs, and desires in the complete understanding of the cyclical value of nature. What are you asking for? What are you suggesting? What are you requesting? See, it's over here. This is where you're praying at, because everything temporary. So this is where request is being made in the temporary. Request, prayer, wishes, hopes, dreams, they all over here in the temporary. They all over here in the temporary. And the reason why they're in the temporary state is because if you was in the complete understanding of if you was content with this cycle, What the hell are you requesting? If you were content with this understanding, what you praying for? If you was content with this understanding, what you hoping for and wishing for? If you, it ain't no hoping and wishing. There is no luck. If you was in this motherfucking understanding of this cyclical understanding, all you got to do is wait, baby. Patience is here, but since you don't understand contentment, pace, and peace, then guess what? There's no patience. So guess what? You become a patient. You become a patient. Thank you, Holistic. Appreciate you guys. You become a patient because you can't practice patience. Because when you waiting on nature, nature breeds contentment and patience, peace, sovereignty. It's this ability to know that I'm all right. Spring is gonna come. I know I missed spring this time, but it'll be back around again. I know I missed summer this time, but it'll be back around again. I know I missed fall this time, but it'll be back around again. I know I missed my healing this time, but it'll be back on again. But see, what I need to do in between time, in the meantime, is endure and persevere and have patience, knowing that healing will come. But when they give you an AIDS diagnosis or a cancer diagnosis or a life-altering diagnosis, then what happens is you lose the energy to endure. You go on E. You go to E on your fuel tank. So you lose the energy to endure that sickness, to endure that diagnosis, and that's why people don't even want to accept the diagnosis. Folk nowadays don't even want to believe shit you tell them no more. They need to know they got high blood pressure. Oh, no, don't tell me I got no high blood pressure. I don't believe it. No, I will not. The devil is a lie. Why? Because they are trying to psychologically bombard themselves from the losing of energy to defeat the thing. So these diagnoses are literally dehydrating you, de-energizing you, because you don't know the root cause. With your owner's manual, for your funky measly $50, you get to know the root cause. And 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with an incurable, lifetime medication taking issue, it's something spiritual going on, and you need a more equipped individual to go in there and start to look into those hidden closets of your spirit and find those suppressed emotions that have turned into parasites. Those suppressed emotions that have turned into fungus. Those suppressed emotions that have turned into cancer, tumors, that are hiding in the dark spaces, in the private areas. I want y'all to listen to me when I speak to you. These things are lying, they're hiding in the closets of the body, which are the private rooms. Where are your private rooms? What's another word for private rooms, y'all? And where the most cancers find it at? Okay? The word private rooms on your body. Follow me. Walk with me. Let me teach you. What is another word for private rooms on your body? That if somebody was to look at your body and be like, private rooms, you'd be like, no, I don't know. I ain't never heard of private rooms, but I heard of private what? No, not private heart. I need for y'all to say it. Thank you, Erica Naylor. Y'all go follow Erica Naylor and Daniel, and all the rest of the folks that get it right now, right? The private parts. I'm gonna repeat this one more time because I know I got some folk that can't listen in the back. I think they told me about 5 people came in with hearing aids today. So we're gonna speak a little loud. These emotions, when suppressed, hide into the private areas of your body. the dark spaces. The private areas of your body are normally going to be your private parts, because it's these private parts that are nothing more than closets. If you're not using them for reproductive, then they're just storage. If you're not using these for, they're just storage for sperm. If you're not using your ovaries for, they're just storage for eggs. If you're not using your breast, they're just storage for all of that fat that formulates in the milk. That's why you see all these glumps and clumps that happen in the breast, because they are just going to be storage units, private rooms, dark spaces for your emotions. 99% of the cancers are happening because of the endocrine system. The endocrine system is going to be the system that handles your hormones. Your hormones is basically called harmony, right? So don't even worry about the HARMONY. Just look at the word hormone and see harmony, right? And then you'll understand that when you're not in balance, when you're not in harmony, when you don't know how to ride these waves, when you don't know where you are in this particular paradigm, when you're fighting against the life lessons and the storms and the particular things. I just told a brother the other day, you in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is going to get you to where your career at. But if you fight against the movement, even though you're in Sagittarius, if you fight against the movements of life, then guess what? You're probably going to pick the wrong career. The Sagittarius is going to get you to the career. The career is going to get you to the Aquarian stage of humanitarianism and giving back. The giving back is going to get you to the unknown and being able to be psychic in your Piscean. The Piscean level is going to get you to the Aryan in the self-understanding and the self-awareness. The self-awareness is going to get you to the self-possessions in Taurus. The self-possessions in Taurus is going to get you to the self-expression or the self-communication, or being able to communicate within self in Gemini. In Gemini, the self-communication is going to get you to being able to communicate with your home and family in Cancer, and being able to communicate with your home and family in Cancer is going to get you to being able to communicate within yourself and in your heart, which is in Leo. And then that Leo is going to get you to Virgo. Then you see everybody's lesson get you to the next one. But if you fight against Leo, then you're going to fuck up your Virgo. When Leo just trying to get you to Virgo, and Virgo just trying to get you to Libra, Libra trying to get you to Scorpio, Scorpio trying to, so even in Libra, when I look at my relationship, see, but I got to look at Scorpio. Scorpio is reproductive. So then reproductive in my 50s and 60s is reproductive. Remember, I'm 46. I'm 6 years in the Libra. Listen to me. I'm walking you through my life. So that means that 50 to 60 is going to be Scorpio. Scorpio is about reproduction and intimacy. Am I going to be having children in 50 and 60? Or well, Libra is going to fix that for you. You can't go into Scorpio with the babies. You got to go into Scorpio with the woman for the babies. And Libra give you the woman for the babies in Scorpio. Come on, man. Each one of these things sets you up for the next. Each one of them sets you up for the next one. So you got to be able to understand this dynamic in which we're teaching you here about understanding a complete system of temporary situations. So stop holding on to certain things that you don't need to hold on to, which is including these 7 deadly emotions. That's what we're talking about. Holding on to stress, holding on to instability. Leave it alone, let it go. You don't supposed to hold on to it forever. It happened to you, but it's an experience, but it don't need to be a life, it don't need to be a life tag. You don't have to have it as a life tag. It don't need to be a mole on the back of your motherfucking neck. Okay? If you experience stress, you experience instability, fine. You should do that anyway in acute situations, meaning in short spurts. Things may happen in this experience that may have you stressed, that may have you a little unstable, but in them little spurts, you'll have all of the necessary energy to overwhelm the situation by your energy. But if you're constantly under stress and instability, that's not the true value of what nature brought you in paradigm to do. So you don't know your reason here. You don't know your purpose here. You don't know how heaven is experience is to the hellacious experience. The hellacious experience is to get you to realize that you're not in heaven. That's all that is. It's a state of being. Hell and heaven is not a real location. It's states of being. So all we know that these are states of mind. These are consciousness levels. So therefore, my hellacious thing is going to keep me doing that where there's no rest. So you don't never get contentment in the completeness. You never get the peace in the completeness. You never get the patience in the completeness of understanding the cyclical understandings of nature. Okay. Any questions thus far? Anybody got questions? You can ask me right now if you got questions. If not, we're going to keep on going. You guys, you keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. Okay. We got about 45 more minutes with you guys. If you keep tapping, I'll keep talking. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, we will give you that. Now, nature's frequency is 7.8 hertz. Again, if anybody tell you to get in tune with nature and don't know that number, then they ain't telling you shit because they don't know the channel to tune into. Tell me to tune in to nature. You need to tune in to nature. Okay, then goddamn, what channel is on? What the hell channel nature on? It's on 7.8 hertz. Where do you find that in nature? Is in your brain. It's in the theta brain waves of your brain, which is in meditation. So to get in tune with nature, you meditate, period, point blank. The life expectancy is 120 years old, standing upright, walking into 120. This is a paradigm that gets you to 120. 12 zodiacs, 10-year lessons apiece. 10 times 12 is 120 years. What we have started to realize with the discovery of this ancient sun decoder, this ancient basically record keeper, is that if you know where you are, know how to pace and balance your energies, because this lifespan of 120 years, which is what the Bible tells, soon as you bit that apple, he said your ass gonna live 120 years, but not eternity. I'm saying that if you live at 120, we can find the way to eternity. And I'm hypothesizing, but not only am I hypothesizing, but I'm also really, really sold in to knowing that there's two dynamics within this experience: the physical and the spiritual. And there are going to be times in this 120 years that's going to require your spiritual testing, like a physical test, a PT test. PT test means physical test. So you're going to have some ST tests during this time. What's happening with us is because we've never been taught this understanding, is we're going all the way in this paradigm, all physical, and we're burning out because we haven't learned body preservation. Any questions thus far? What say you? Could you post or recite those 7 deadly emotions? Yes, Holistic G-Ma. I can post them very quickly for you. I'll erase these down here and we'll post them for you. Now, I normally have these up here, but I've been trying to just teach my newbies and just start from the beginning, right? Time, understanding numbers, understanding why your birthday is such an incredible tool to being able to heal yourself. So, that's kind of what I've been focusing on. But the reality of it is that I normally always have that up here. So the 7 deadly emotions, right? So we start at the root chakra, okay? So what I'm going to do is do it like this, okay? And so we're going to say, over here, we're going to say stress, right? And instability. Instability anywhere, okay? It can be anywhere. Guilt, unforgiveness, okay? Then we're going to go self-control, okay? Then we're going to go grief and depression. These are the 7 deadly emotions. Okay? And then we're going to go doubt and trust. Okay? Then we're going to go delusion. Remember that the root word of delusion is deluge, water covering the eyes. So delusion and loneliness. This is about perspective. And then last but not least is going to be attachment issues. Okay? These are going to be the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and what they call the crown. These are also going to give you color codes, right? From red to ultraviolet or purple, right? That is the light spectrum. That light spectrum is the visible light. That light is getting absorbed into the foods. So instead of teaching you about phytonutrients, what we teach you is about food colors. If you shop by the food colors, you'll shop getting the nutrients, the phytonutrients that have been absorbed. So the red in the red bell pepper and strawberries is the medicine of the red bell pepper and the strawberry or the cayenne pepper. It is the yellow in the squash. It's the yellow in the lime or the lemon that's going to give you the medicinal things that you're looking for. It is the orange in the squash or in the orange or in the sweet potato that's giving you the phytonutrient that you need. It is the green in the leafy greens that's giving you the medicine. It is the blues and the purples in the blues and the purple coloring that's giving you the phytonutrients. But instead of having to bore you, remember, this is for May and Nene them. May and Nene don't give a damn about beta carotene, lycopene, terpene. They don't give a damn about resveratrol. They don't give a damn about that shit. They just want to be healed. Okay? This for May and Nene them. We doing it for you. Remember, this is a pot of food for everybody. So we got to make sure that this thing is conceivable even to the least of us. Okay? So holistic G-Mon, did you get that? Did you get that? Can you see the whole screen now on YouTube now to make sure that you're getting your information? Okay. But these are the 7 deadly emotions: stress, guilt and unforgiveness, self-control, grief and depression, doubt and trust, delusion, attachment issues. These are all connected also to organs. Okay. I've had a sharp pain in my chest area. Hardell, what can I do? You just got to get your owner's manual. Obviously, that's what you need to do, Anthony B. Get your owner's manual. Okay. Now, again, when you go down here, now you start to look at the body parts, right? So now we start to put these body parts into play. The adrenals, right? And the kidneys, right? The reproductive organs. All right. Here we're going to put the digestive system, but the liver, gallbladder, pancreas. Okay. Here you're going to do your thymus gland. Right. Here's your thyroid gland. All right. Here's your pituitary gland. And then here is your pineal gland. These all got something to do with other stuff too. Pineal got something to do with your sleep, your mood. The pituitary got something to do with your growth and development. So if you got no how, a lot of how, if you too tall, too short, all that type of stuff, miscarriages, infertility, pituitary gland. The thyroid gland got something to do with your weight, got something to do with your body temperature. If you hot flashes, all that type of stuff, thyroid, weight issues, thyroid. The thymus gland got something to do with your immune system, okay? The solar plexus, obviously the digestive system, you already know what that got something to do with. The liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas, that got something to do with your blood sugar and your digestive system. The reproductive organs, okay? So we're talking about the ovaries, the uterus. We're talking about fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, prostate issues, all that type of stuff, infertility issues, okay? But people don't know that the sacral chakra and the pituitary gland go hand in hand. Okay, and then you got the adrenals right here for the kidneys and everything like that. So now we're talking about high blood pressure, arthritis, all that type of stuff comes from the adrenals. But people don't tell you about that, right? That you produce a high cholesterol, arthritis, high blood pressure, all that. That's the adrenals. So we know what you got going on in your life spiritually based on what's going on in your life physically. So now by your disease, we can tell you what's going on in your life. But that don't mean you still know where you at in life. Getting the owner's manual is for you to know where you're at and how to get on this station, the 7.8 hertz of nature. That's what the owner's manual was about completely. All right. What colors do we eat for the thyroid gland? So again, the thyroid gland is right here, right? So that's going to be the blues and purples. The blues and purples. More about the blues. You're going to eat more blue foods for the thyroid. But you can be eating more blue foods all you want to for the thyroid. If you don't handle your doubt and trust issues, you still won't hear yourself, Anthony B. Or just DM me. I'm sorry, Cooking with Dominica. Cooking with Dominica. If you don't handle the doubt and trust, it don't matter what you do. Okay? You'll be on a lifetime of blue foods, a lifetime of thyroid herbs, a lifetime of these people's concoctions that they're making for you. See, ain't nobody really showing y'all how to be healed. I wish y'all would understand that that's the difference in what you're hearing with me. I know y'all don't know me from a can of paint. I get it. I know I may not sound different from nobody you've heard. I may not look no different from nobody you know. That's because I'm a real nigga from goddamn West Georgia, straight from the hood, been locked up 15 times. I get that. I'm a real person. But I'm not out here trying to bamboozle you and swing you. I don't want to work every day and see what I'm seeing when it comes to your health. People are dying. Worst occupation ever on planet. It's the worst occupation. Anybody choosing to do this shit, you should be shot yourself. This is the worst occupation. And to understand that I'm an advocate of fighting against consciousness, to hear about this is not the best thing. So what I got to do is say, okay, well, cool. I'm not smart enough to know what's good for you without being in your body. I'm only smart enough to know about that with my own body. But I realized that there's a system, same as Adam and Eve. They had to realize that, you know what? We can bite the apple and be gods ourselves, but we really ain't got to know anything outside of what we already know. You are faced with that decision every day. When are you finally going to make the right decision, Adam? When are you finally going to make the right decision, Eve? You're faced with that decision in every little parts of life. This ain't no big ass thing. It's decision making 101. You can do it yourself, or you can rely on something else. I want to rely on nature. I want to rely on God, especially when dealing with you, because I've never walked a mile. I don't know how that pain feels. I don't know how it feels. I want to understand, but I don't know your sense of urgency. I don't know how you feel to lose your mama. My mama's still living. I don't know what it feels like to be on the brink of losing your dad, and my daddy ain't sick. I don't know what it feels like to be on the brink of losing grandmama, them, this, that, and the third. I haven't been in those situations, but you may be currently right now dealing with that. And I can't understand your sense of urgency. I cannot understand it. But what I will not do is manipulate you because of it. What I will not do is manipulate you in your most vulnerable state. If you are looking to be healed, if you're looking to learn how to fish, instead of treating your situation month in and month out, we're providing you with that alternative, which is the owner's manual for a funky measly $50. Anybody understand it for us? Yes. But you also got access to me as well. So if you don't understand it, you can call me and I'll walk you through it. What do we eat for diabetes? Yellow and orange. Okay. Yellow and orange is what you eat for diabetes. And you can go and look that up right now. You can go and look up the benefits of butternut squash and sweet potato. And you'll see that those yellow and oranges help you with diabetes. I ain't saying nothing wrong. I ain't gonna lead you down the wrong way. Okay? I ain't saying nothing wrong. Now I ain't gonna lead you down the wrong way. This shit is simple, it is cheap as hell, and it may fuck with you because this nigga selling this shit for $50. This is some bullshit. But what I tell you, like I've been saying before, the best meal you ever got was from your mama or your grandma. And that meal was free. So when you looking at quality, you better be looking at somebody that love your ass to give you something like this, instead of be looking at trying to pay for something with somebody not knowing and not caring who the fuck you are. Mama put love in that meal and still gave it to you for free. And can't still to this day, not a now restaurant beat mama's cooking for you. That's a high quality meal for the free. We're giving you a high quality, and the reason why we're doing this is because this shit comes from nature. It literally grows on trees. There's no need for me to do you like that. It's 8 billion of us that needs this information, not a few of us. Hey, you talking about? This ain't for LeBron James, them. It's for LeBron James, but the LeBron James ain't got enough money for this information, which means that you got the same amount of money as a poor motherfucker. This is priceless, man. This is priceless, man. Going back to nature. Tune in to nature. Learn how to talk to nature. Cholesterol is a lifestyle issue. You're too acidic. How do we get the menu? You DM me. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else on YouTube? Anybody else on TikTok? Got questions, concerns? I know y'all be scared to talk to me on here, but you can talk to me. Invite yourself on up. If you've already got your owner's manual, you already got the herbs, you want to talk to us about the residual, the effects, the results, come up here. You want to say it ain't shit, fine. You want to say it is something, fine. If you want to come up, you can. If you want to chit chat on the chat box, that's fine. If you want to come up on the live, you can. I ain't afraid of nothing when it comes to this, period. Okay, we ain't afraid of nothing. Could you? Okay, thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Holistic Gmail. You know we got you all the time, man. We're coming live on Instagram. Coming live on TikTok and YouTube, you guys. So please go on over there and subscribe to both so that you can be notified anytime we come on to the HerbMan show. All right, so real quick, let me do one of y'all because I know y'all waiting on it. We got about 28 more minutes. I'm not going to do it though until we get to 100K. Okay, so once we get to 100K, I'm gonna do one of y'all live. All right, one of y'all live. Let's get us to 100K. You keep tapping. I'll keep talking. We're gonna do one freebie here because I know that's what y'all be wanting. Y'all be wanting that free. What about February? How they function in life? What you mean? What about February? Who is in February? Be more specific. Can I send you a check for my herbs? No, you can't send a check, show girl. Okay. You want to be able to send a check. You can pay for the invoice. You have to have a card to do that. All right. Where can I get the manual, Yusuf? You get it by DMing me. You DM me, we'll get you all the information that you need for your owner's manual. All we need is a birthday. All right. So here shortly, you're about to see all the information that your birthday holds. Your birthday is time. Time is numbers. What we're attempting to do is shift you from the time to the everlasting, to the eternal side of life. Man, I don't know where that shit be coming from. Sometimes I had to just pause and hear myself. What we're attempting to do is shift you from time into eternal life, eternity. It's almost like when you see on Star Trek, when they go into hyper mode, you transition from something. A lot of us are in the spiritual time of life and don't know it. And a lot of us is in the physical time of life and don't know it. And it is out of your ignorance of the wave that causes for you to buffer and causes for you to have issues that you cannot correct because you've created a problem that's going to make you fail this test out of the ignorance of understanding where you at in the paradigm. Okay? So you guys got to be able to get that. All right, Joseph, we'll get you. It's a sequence of celestial possession with cognitive innovation. Okay, you can say it like that if you want to. It sounds good. But what May May and JJ them gonna say about that? What good is that gonna do with May May and Ray Ray them on the corner block? You walking up to them talking about some, you know what I'm saying, goddamn, you know what I'm saying, this shit about goddamn paradigms and, you know, convictions of, you know what I'm saying, the interventions of speculations and epaculations of epochs and you using all these mother, May May and them gonna be like, bro, stop. Okay? We don't want it. Keep it moving. And May May them sitting right there with high blood pressure, diabetes. May May just got diagnosed with herpes or AIDS. And you missed being able to facilitate them brothers because of sometimes we trying to talk over the heads of those that the message is really actually meant for. I'm not the school teacher for everybody. A lot of y'all like Yaki, very intelligent brother. You might can learn from him better than you can learn from me. What we're attempting to do is show you that getting in alignment with nature is really the key. Now, if you want to keep following people for the rest of your life and subscribing to motherfuckers and friending people for the rest of your life and doing all this old social media shit, then that's fine. But there are some of us that are using these platforms to really, really get a rhema word out there to wake your ass up, zombie ass motherfucker. Zombie. You're a zombie to yourself. And we're trying to wake you up. Melatonin, cortisol, insulin, T3, TY, etc. Add that to the board. Yeah, you know, I can't add all that like I used to, Nike. I ain't got the board size that I used to. But the biggest one is that melatonin and that cortisol at the bottom. Just saying the planets and lights is the map to show us how to think. It's the map to show you to the treasure, man. It's the leprechaun. It's what you get at the end of the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the map. You know, you look at these are rainbows. What's at the end of the rainbow? Is the pot of gold. You know, but you got to know what phase of this stuff you're in. This is my second favorite. Can't wait to rewatch. Oh, appreciate your LP. I agree with you, man. You said something earlier about deacons. Okay, yeah. Within every 10-year space, what were they? So when you do the 10 years, then every deacon would be 3.3 years. So 3. So let's say if you're born at a particular time, you know, normally what I do is just say, okay, you're born here in Gemini and just take the whole 10. But reality, we can number crunch it all the way down. So for me, I was born June the 19th, right? So June the 19th is going to be in that third deacon. So in reality, I didn't spend the first 6 years in Gemini. I only spent 3 years in Gemini. You see what I'm trying to say? I only spent 3 years here. So if something happened to me, I can say it happened in the first 3 years of your life. but I don't really go that deep with y'all. But I'm telling you that it's deeper than what y'all think. Okay. The only reason I don't really want to go that deep is because that don't got nothing to do with healing you like the other stuff do. And I try to stay on health with this shit, making sure that you got a healthy mind, a healthy consciousness. The healthy consciousness is just as important as a healthy body. So we got to make sure that your consciousness is up to par, and that's what I try to focus on the most. All right. So since we got to 100K, you guys, let's go ahead and give me a birthday in. Okay. At the count of 3, let's get us a birthday. I need the month, the date, and the year. 3, 2, 1, go. You got to get your owner's manual. That's how you go deep. All right. Arham, 1/11/2006. Okay. So your manufacturing date is 1/11/06. Okay. So you're a youngster, but let's show you how this thing works, because you are the contestant on the wheel of life. All right. So from 1/11, we know that from 12/21 to 1/21 is going to encapsulate Capricorn. Okay. So right now we know right off the rip, your destination is going to be Capricorn. So on this wheel, you remember you got to make it to 120 years old. Where is 120 years old for this particular individual, you guys? Everybody that's watching me, that's learning this, what did he got to get back to be 120 years old? Anybody know? Where does this particular person got to get back to reach 120 years old? Anybody know? I want to teach y'all as I go. The start, right? Got to get back to Capricorn because they're a Capricorn. There you go, Nicole. There you go. Follow Nicole, you guys, one of my star students, right? So you got to get back to Capricorn in order for you to reach 120. Now let's locate the motherfucker, because we know GPS gives you destination, but it also gives you current location. We can find all of that by your birthday, pimp. So I'm finna get you by your birthday now. To show you. So we know that that's a Capricorn 06, meaning that you are shit. You badly get down 21 around the motherfucker. Okay, so we know that you wasn't 20, or at least you're gonna be 20 this year. So you're 19, 18, 19, right? Want to say about 18, 19. So guess what? 10. Remember that each of these is 10 years. So 10 here. So you in Aquarius. So you're currently right here. So you just starting your journey. But remember that your point is to make it back here. So you just one box over, which means you got to go all the way back around here to come back here. But also you need to understand that you're in your spiritual time. So right now, even though you're young, I want you to value conserving physical energy. Value preserving and conserving your physical energy. Right now, the things that you're going through ain't about how much physical energy that you need. It's not about your body. You're not in a time requiring a lot of body energy. You're in a time that's requiring a lot of mental, a lot of spiritual energy. If you can remember that, then you can consolidate and pace the body. And then when you get into your 30s, because look, 10, 20, 30. So when you get over in here, this is what's going to require body. Body is going to be when you turn 30 and 40 years old. Not right now. So just because you're young, don't mean that it's a PT test. Right now, when you're young, your spiritual test is happening right before your eyes. Hopefully you understand this. You're at your most high tide. You're at your most highest consciousness. So if you understand about the full moon, the waxing moon, you can go learn those things that'll turn you how to manifest within the month, so that you can still create opportunities within this time. But this is a magnetic, not an electric time. This is a feminine energy, not a masculine energy time, which means that this is a receptive time, not a giving time. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for you, and I'm gonna keep it moving because you're too little, you're too young. Okay, you're too little, you're too young, Pepper. All right. Now the thing that you need to realize, though, I will give you the health thing. Okay, you're in the third decan of Capricorn. Okay, so you want to be careful about your joints. Okay, because even though you're young, you want to watch your joints and something about your sense of touch. Okay, your joints and something about your sense of touch. Okay, your joints and something about your sense of touch. All right, Arham. Did I do a little bit all right for you to kind of get that little information? I know I didn't do everything, but if you want everything, you can get your owner's manual and we'll do everything for you. But you're young, so you probably haven't ran into a lot of that stuff. So the best thing for you to know out of this information is what wave you need to ride. You need to ride the high tide. You're in your most highest state, your most spiritual state. Don't use too much body in a spiritual time. Did you get that, Arham? Did you get that, Arham? All right. This is why numbers was the most universal language on the planet. This is why people use this. I imagine that it was always a fixated particular paradigm once we started to get the solar construction and be able to put this together, that this was just always available for anybody in any given time who needed to understand anything about herbs, foods, etc., etc. When you get your owner's manual, you get the one that get the food in there, the herbs, everything. So I don't miss out on nothing with your owner's manual, okay? But unfortunately, here we had to do so many people. So Arham said, yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, man, we appreciate you, Arham, for even doing it. So we don't go off of please and all that type of stuff, you guys. I'm sorry. This is a lot of stuff that I do here. So we don't do that, all right? But I tell you right here, sunshine, 88, right? So 628, which is a Cancer. You're born in 88, which is going to make you what, about 36, right? 36, 37, 10, 20, 37. So you're in the spiritual time of life, okay? And you're in the spiritual time, you're just in Libra. So you're talking about really, I would say the next 50s, what you say, 36? You 36 or 37, you'll be 37 this year. So you got 53 more years in the spirituality of life, 53 more years. If you exude too much physical energy, you'll tap out during this time as well. You won't make it. Okay? You won't make it because you're already 37. I said 53. Most of y'all are dying in that age range. So you can easily leave here the spiritual time in your life because you exuded too much physical energy and you did not know how to ride this wave. So again, you have 53 more years into your spiritual consciousness, your most high state, your feminine energy. Learn how to use that. Less physical energy, more spiritual energy. Hopefully I helped you. Anybody else? Let's go. That's all I'm going to do for right now. You guys keep tapping the screen. I'm going to do as many as I can. I just want to show you guys what tide you're on so you'll know how to ride the wave, okay? Okay. All right, so let's go. How do I get the owner's manual? DM me. King Yosef, stop asking me the same thing you got, King Yosef. Okay, I don't need your money, bro. So stop asking me the same thing. DM me or get off my line. William Lattimore, 7462. Okay, 7462. So 621 to 721. You're another Cancer. Okay, and you 60 means you 63 years old, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 3. All right. So you're in Capricorn, but the biggest thing is you're in the spiritual time of life, less physical. Hair of heart, 1030 89. Okay. So from 1021 to 1121 is going to be a Scorpio. Okay. So you are here. All right. And then you were born in 89. So you're going to be what? 35, 36. Well, you'll be 36 this year. So 10, 20, 30, and 6. You're in Aquarius, okay? The biggest thing for you is that you're in the spiritual time, the high tide, the most highest time, the most highest consciousness of the time that you're on this plane. You're in it right now. Conserve your physical body and start to really, really entreat the spiritual, okay? 7/28/1980 is going to be Winnie Yeb. Winnie Yeb, 7/28/1980. 7/21 to 8/21. We normally is going to say that that's going to be a Leo. Okay. So Leo born in 1980, that means that you are 45 years old. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 5. You are in Sagittarius. A lot of moving on in your life. But at the end of the day, it's a spiritual time in your life. Let the moving around set you career-wise. Because that's what's happening next in your life. Okay? 120588. This is Peaceful Nay. 120588. 1121 to 1221 is going to be Sagittarius. Okay? All right? 88 is 10, 20, 30, and 7 years. So you are in the spiritual time as well, but you almost finished. Okay? So you got about 3 more years before you're going to start getting PT test. So hopefully your body ain't ran down because you have to enter the physical time of your life in your latter stage. Hopefully you can make it there. Peaceful night. Okay? I can't do everybody, you guys. So y'all can keep throwing them things up there, but I won't be able to do everybody. All I want you to see is that you need your fucking owner's manual. Y'all need to stop going out here buying herbs and buying medications and buying groceries and buying books and buying folks nutritional and buying folks dietary book, buying folks theology and philosophy on this and that. Stop doing that shit. Buy your shopping list on you. Then you can go shop. First, you need your owner's manual so you'll know what you need. How you know what specifications of foods, what specifications of herbs that you need. You're asking for the doctor, for the therapist, for the pastor, for your friend, for your mom and them to know this stuff, but they don't because don't nobody know you like nature. Okay? Nobody knows you like nature, you guys. That's why I'm doing this for. Okay? Achievers 4387. Okay? Achievers 4387. So from 321 to 421 is going to be an Aries. Okay? So if you're born in 87, that means you're going to be about 38 years old this year. 10, 20, 30, 8. Okay? So you're in Cancer right now. You're all about home and family affairs. All about the children, mama, whoever, something going on with the home and family. That's what you're in right now. But you're in the physical time of life. The physical. So you're in low tide. So new moon for you. New moon, waning moon. Learn those. Learn how to capitalize on the low tide of life and learn how to ride that wave. But you're going to be there for a minute. You got about another 23 some odd years because you're 37. So you got about another 23. Remember, 60 years in the physical, 60 years in the spiritual. That's how you pace this thing, and that's how you body preserve. 6 years in the physical, 6 years in the spiritual, meaning that when you're in the physical body, you still got to be able to exude more spiritual energy so that you can start solving things with intuition more than intellect. There are times and seasons in your paradigm where you need to use more intuition and intellect, but you don't know that when. So you're being stuck in masculine energy, being stuck in intellect, being stuck in a one track, and you're running down the physical body. And that is no real recipe to being able to get to 120 years. And honestly, you guys, that's no real recipe to get to everlasting life. If you really wanted to know everlasting life, you really got to have the 411 on body preservation. And this is the ancient technology to get you there. 60 years of physical, 60 years of spiritual. Where are you? Do you know? And how do you know how to ride that wave? 10/22/91. Okay, 10/22/91 is a cusp. So I think that's normally going to be what a Virgo. I'm sorry, not a Virgo, but a Scorpio. But we'll check it. 10/22 is the Libra. So you're still in that Libra category. So 10/22, you're still in that Libra category, okay? So that means that you're here. 91, which means that you 34, 33. So 10, 20, 30, And 3, you're in Capricorn. So you're all about your career, your legacy, your job, your long term. But you're also in your spiritual time. Okay, you're in your spiritual time. So don't exert too much physical energy. You need to use more spiritual. Ride that wave. Your most high state, high tide, full moon, waxing moon, learn those to benefit on your opportunities. Okay? Anybody else? I got about 5 more minutes, you guys. I don't have a whole lot of other things to be able to say. How to be complete or holy. Well, that's the thing. You know, that's what this whole talk was about. Complete, knowing that this is a complete system of temporal situations. This is a complete system of temporal situations. So your riches is temporal. Your poorness is temporal. Your singleness and loneliness is temporal. Your togetherness and family is temporal. Your love for somebody is temporal. Your hate for somebody can be temporal. Your sickness is temporal. But your healing can be temporal as well. So it's all about transitioning and knowing that this is a complete system of temporary situations. So if you can embrace change, don't force it. But if you can embrace change, then you can start embracing your healing. If you can embrace change, you can start embracing the owner's manual. You can start embracing the understanding of this. Even if you're a Christian and you need help in your health, you can start embracing this. If you're Islamic, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, whatever it is that's keeping you separated from opening up the channels of information. If you've been blocked informational wise from your society, your government, you can change those things. All it takes is you to understanding that the state that you're currently in is temporary. Endure and persevere to the next season in which your healing, your wealth can come in. I love you guys, man, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. We come on every day between the times of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming live from South Africa. If you're ever in question, ever in need, or if you're interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get to you as quickly as possible. Until next time, love HerbMan. Appreciate you, YouTubers. Y'all know we love you, man, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Tomorrow.